Now, one of the comments of why this attack was so successful is that Hamas seemed to have lulled the Israeli government into a sense that they had gone passive, that they were going to change their ways, that they were not going to be pursuing this strategy in the future. And then all of a sudden they did. Is that true, first of all? And, I guess if I would say that, is it possible that that movement would ever quiet down and slowly peter up or give out over time?
So there were actually three things at play that really worked well. First was that the majority of conflict was happening on the West Bank. There was a very active history, even immediate history, on the West Bank of Israeli settlers coming into conflict with Palestinians and armed conflict and skirmishes and conflict that was driving attention for the average Israeli into the West Bank, but not into Gaza, because they obviously stand on opposite sides of the country, right? West Bank on the west side, Gaza on the east. The other thing was, you're right, Hamas had done a good job of basically lulling the Israelis to sleep. That's a very strategic military and intelligence term, lulling your opponent to sleep. It's something that intelligence officers are taught when we're in the field. It's something that military officers are taught when they're engaged in active conflict zones. You want to give your opponent a sense of comfort that nothing is going to happen. And then as they have that extended sense of not today, not today, not today, they start to become comfortable. They start to become lazy. They start to change where they direct their resources. Because if they don't have to pay attention to you 24 hours a day, they start paying attention to other things, and you only get 20 hours of attention, and then you get 10 hours of attention, and then you get 2 hours of attention. And that gives you more and more time for planning, plotting, and scheming to execute your goals. If you've heard of, this is the fundamental doctrine to a sneak attack. Think through, remember Ukraine and Russia during the counterattack in 2023 in August. Right, the very first successful counterattack that Ukraine had against Russia. They talked about attacking in the south, and they talked about the south, and Russia moved all of its forces to the south, and everybody got focused on the south, and then the actual Ukraine counteroffensive happened in the north, and they took huge swaths of land. It was the same lulling strategy. Make your opponent think nothing is going to happen in the north. They direct all their resources to the south, and then you attack in the north. A big part of why Ukraine's counteroffensive has failed this most recent time is because they didn't have the same sort of opportunity. Russia got smarter, first of all. And second, Ukraine has been focused on one area, trying to gain back territory in the south. And that's what they communicated. That's strategically, that's where the fight has always been in Ukraine. But you can see that the same thing Hamas did in Israel is what led to Ukraine's success against Russia. And it's what's led to conflict all over the world. The idea of a sneak attack really only happens after you have lulled your opponent into a false sense of security.
Right. So
that's why this was never an intelligence failure. Okay. It was always a successful sneak attack.
So Sun Tzu, all warfare is based on deception. And if you even look at Britain here, the reason that D-Day had some success is because they went into Normandy when everyone expected them to go into Calais, because it was the shortest distance. And actually, Patton's army was over there by Calais with these inflatable tanks and pretending like they were massing. And of course, the Germans thought, of course, Patton would lead the charge, and he was a decoy, which is why they were able to hit Normandy. So this is standard operating procedure, happens in business, in warfare, in any situation. Okay, so was there an intelligence failure? Now that you've had time to look or maybe think more about what happened a month ago, what do you conclude?
I still stand by this was a successful sneak attack and not an intelligence failure. And there's a few reasons why. In order for there to be an intelligence failure, there has to be demonstrable proof that the information was known.
Right.
If there was no information that was available to be known, meaning that if Hamas created a secret and kept the secret successfully, then that means that they had all the right compartmentalization, so the intelligence was never something that could be collected, right? It's not an intelligence failure when a secret is successfully kept. That just means that the aggressor did the right thing. They kept control of their secrets. It's only an intelligence failure if the secret is discoverable and then not communicated to the right channels.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim, watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.